In our next concept, we have to determine the transfer function for first order systems, second order systems, right? So once I want to show you the syllabus copy. See, we need to determine the time response for the first order system as well as the time response. Here we particularly for the transient response. However, transient response is one part of the time response, right? We are having two parts in the time response. One is transient response, second one is steady state response, right? So we need to determine the time response for the first order systems and for the second order systems. So for that purpose, we need to uh, have a review on the partial fractions, because in order to attain the time response, generally the transfer function will be given in the Laplace transform. So we need to apply inverse Laplace transform there. So for the application of inverse Laplace transform, we may require partial fractions. That's why now we will see the majority partial fractions fraction cases that will happen while solving the problems in order to determine the time response of a system. Okay, so generally we may have three cases. Case one, that is when the transfer function has separate poles. Of course, we have a very good idea on partial fractions we learned from mathematics. So just I'll review the concepts briefly here, because we require the partial fractions concepts here. So without having the knowledge of partial fractions, it is difficult to solve the problems. So that's why I'm giving a simple and brief review. So the first case is when the transfer function has separate poles. So poles are different. That is first case. And the second case is multiple poles. That means the poles are same. And the third case is complex conjugate poles. You know what is complex conjugate, right? So these are the three cases that we may have in the partial fractions. So we need to learn these three cases so that we can easily solve the problems. The first case is when transfer functions has separate poles. So that is our first case. Now take an example here. So the transfer function of T of s is equal to some k by s into s plus p1 into s plus p2. So in order to calculate the transfer function, we need to split like this format, right? So a by s plus b by s plus p1 and c by s plus p2. And we need to determine this a value, b value and c value, so that we can split this transfer function into separate, and which means we will make partial fractions of this total expression, right? So how the a, b and c constants will be determined. So in order to calculate the a, what we do to calculate the a is we need to multiply this s to the entire transfer function and also substitute the value s is equal to 0, because you can see here in this case it is only s. If we want to write this s in terms of pole format, it is s plus 0. It is s plus 0. S means s plus 0. That's why we need to substitute this pole in this equation in order to get the a value. You will understand this clearly by an example. In the next slide, I'll tell you an example. Okay. And similarly, in order to calculate the b, what we do is we need to multiply for this transfer function with this B pole, which is S plus P1 part. So we need to multiply S plus P1 part to this entire transfer function, and we must substitute this pole value. So S plus P1, right? So that's why the pole will be minus P1. The pole value will be minus P1, because if S plus P1, if we make S plus P1 is equal to 0, then S value must be minus P1. So we need to substitute this minus P1 in this entire equation to achieve the B value. Similarly, with the case of C also, you can see C by S plus P2. So that means we must multiply S plus P2 term to this entire transfer function like this, and substitute the S value as minus P2, because S plus P2, if you make S plus P2 is equal to 0, then we will get the pole as minus P2. So we substitute this minus P2 in this expression to determine the constant C. So this is how we can split, we can partial fraction the given transfer function. So this is our first case. Let's check an example for this first case. How if we are having this P1, P2 and 0, both all these three, we are having three poles here, 0, P1 and P2. So these three poles are not equal. That's why this is case 1, which is separate poles. Separate poles means the value of 0, the value of P1 and the value of P2 are not equal. That's why it is separate case. So check this concept with an example. So here the same expression I have considered an example here. So the transfer function, the given transfer function is 2 by S into S plus 1 into S plus 2. So you can see here the denominator is having 3 poles, because the order of the S is 3 here. S into S plus 1 into S plus 2. So the order is 3, because the maximum S power, if you multiply these 3, you'll get S cubed term. That means the order is 3. So the number of poles will be 3, which are P1, P2 and P3. So in order to determine those poles, we need to, we have to partial fraction in order to simplify this transfer function. So for that case, 3 poles, that's why 3 constants, A, B and C. So this transfer function can be done partial fractions, and we will get A by S, because this is first term, B by second term, which is S plus 1, and C by third term, which is S plus 2. So we have to determine what is A, what is B and what is C. So the A can be determining by multiplying this denominator term of A with the given transfer function and substitute its pole in the place of S. That's why A can be determined. You can see here the given transfer function is T of S. So we multiply this T of S with S and substitute S is equal to 0, because here the pole is 0. S plus 0, right? So the pole is 0. We need to substitute 0 in the place of S. So the transfer function is written here. The given transfer function is written here, and S is multiplied. Now we can cancel, we can simplify, we can cancel this S and this S here. So we will get 2 by S plus 1 into S plus 2. So that means this expression, S and S get cancelled. Now what we need to substitute? We need to substitute S is equal to 0, because this is S plus 0 term. So that's why we need to substitute a 0 in the place of S, right? So substitute 0 here. So it will come 0 plus 1, and also 0 here. So this entire term becomes 1 and this entire term becomes 2. So the resultant expression will be 2 by 1 into 2, right? So we can cancel 2 and 2. We will get a value as 1. This is how we need to determine the constants a, b, c. Of course, this is not a new concept to you. Doing the partial fractions you have learned from your previous classes. But once again, I want to give you a brief discussion on it. That's why I'm giving this brief discussion. And in order to determine the b, what we do, we need to multiply s plus 1 to the given transfer function. So this is the given transfer function and multiply s plus 1. Now you can see this s plus 1 and here also s plus 1 is there. Now cancel out s plus 1 and s plus 1 here. And what we need to substitute in the place of s? Minus 1, because b denominator is s plus 1. So the pole will be minus 1, which is s is equal to minus 1. Now substitute this s is equal to minus 1 here, so that we will get b value. So s plus 1 is get cancelled in the numerator and denominator, right? So we are having 2 by s into s plus 2 only. Now substitute s as minus 1. So here it will be minus 1. Here minus 1 and plus 2, we will get minus 1 plus 2. That means 2 minus 1. Simply 2 minus 1 means 1 only. So minus 1, you can see here, minus 1 into minus 1 plus 2. So minus 1, here what we get? We will get as 1. So 1 into 1 is 1, but it is minus. So 2 by minus 1, we will get minus 2. So this is b value. Similarly, to determine the c value, what we do? We need to multiply s plus 2 term with the given transfer function. So for the given transfer function, multiply s plus 2. So numerator this s plus 2 term and in the denominator s plus 2 term will get cancelled. And what we need to substitute here? We have to substitute minus 2 because this is s plus 2, right? So we need to substitute s as a minus 2 to determine or to calculate the c term or c constant. So after cancelling s plus 2 and s plus 2 in the numerator and denominator, our expression will become 2 by s into s plus 1. Now substitute this s value as minus 2. So here we will get a minus 2, and here also minus 2 and plus 1, right? So we will get like this. So 1 minus 2, that means we will have minus 1 here, and which is multiplied by minus 2 in the denominator. But in the numerator we are having 2, so these 2 and the denominator 2 will get cancelled, and minus of minus will get plus. That means the constant c value can be plus 1. So this is how we can determine the constants a, b, c. And now substitute the a value here, b value here, and c value here, and write the final partial fraction of the given transfer function, which is like this. So 1 by s, a by s means a is 1, so 1 by s. Here b value is minus 2, that's why in the place of plus I have written minus here. So b by s plus 1 means 2 by s plus 1, plus c value is plus 1, so plus 1 by s plus 2. This is how we need to do the a partial fraction for the case 1 where the transfer function has separate poles, right? In the next class we will discuss case 2 and case 3 with the examples. Okay, thank you.